What's going on, everybody? I usually don't film my intro for MultiPack Mania in this area. And if you're wondering why there's a paper plate there, it's because it's a piece of artwork one of my daughters did for me years ago. So it's always been there. The reason I'm doing it in this room right now is one of my daughters was using my table in the other room to do her homeschooling on because of the whole COVID thing. And she spilt water all over some of my brand new magic cards. So they're spread out all over the table trying to dry because they're, you know, a lot of fucking money in those cards. Luckily it was just the commons and nothing that was like worth anything. But still, I don't want them all messed up so I can use them to build decks. Anyways, that all doesn't matter. I know you don't give a shit about that. Guys, today is MultiPack Mania and it is 6-pack day. Now, I've already used this 6-pack once, so we're going to do 1 through 6 on a dice. If it happens to be number 1, which is Black Sheep, we will choose another film. We'll roll again. And I'm going to be rolling in a very weird area because of the space, but whatever. So we're going to turn this around, and we are going to see what's what. So number 1 is Rogue, or number 1 is Black Sheep, which we've already done. Welcome to the Jungles, number 2. Automated Transfusions, number 3. Or Automaton Transfusion. 13, Game of Death is number 4. Rogue is number 5. And Broken is number 6. Alright, so we're going to move down to this shelf and roll here. Alright, let's see what we got. By the way, I have a review for that movie right there, Sick, coming out. But it wasn't a very good movie. But, whatever. And we have a 4. We have a 4, so that would be 13 Game of Death. Let's check that movie out, alright? We'll be right back. Alright guys, I am back with my review. And I just gotta say, it's been some hours since I did the first part of this, and it's been some hours since I watched the movie. I really needed to let my thoughts process. But I'm going to tell you something. Right now, I'm in a very melancholy mood. I don't know why. I have this impending feeling of doom. Like, something bad's about to happen. I don't mean bad in, like, my real life, or, well, not my real life. Everything's real life. I have this weird feeling that something's about to happen, and I don't know. It's kind of got me a little bit down. But anyways, I'm not going to let that deter me, and I'm going to try to give a really good review of 13 Game of Death. From 2006, this is an awesome fucking movie. It is a Thai film that was made for 119 million baht, or baht, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, which is approximately $3.5 million. It's also known as 13 Beloved, and it is adapted from a graphic novel. Now, there was an American remake in 2014 called 13 Sins, which I think I have a copy of around here somewhere. I'm going to totally butcher these names, and I truly apologize. Directed by Chukiat Sakurerakul, starring Krisada Sukasoi as Chit, our main character. Achila Sikamana as Tong, his best friend. After losing everything, his job, his car, everything in one day, Chit is approached via telephone by an anonymous person who promises 100 million Thai baht to complete 13-time task. Easy at first, the game grows more sinister by the minute. Now guys, I'm going to tell you, this is a movie that defies classification in my opinion. It is labeled as a comedy, a horror film, a suspense, a thriller, and a mystery all at once. Now, I would say that this is almost, if I didn't know that it was a Thai film, I would say it's like a Takashi Miike crazy Japanese film. You know, it's got that definite flow to it. But there is an underlying message about corruption and politics and society at large in this film that I really dug. because they did it the right way. They did it the right way, and it made sense in the movie and in the context of the story they were telling. This movie blew me away, guys. It really did. I can't believe I've never seen it before. It is just a terrific film. It is so intense. I see why it's on the extreme line. Yes, there is blood and there is gore in this movie, but it's not the blood and the gore that makes it extreme. And it's not even some of the gross out things that make it extreme. It's the entire film and just the way this movie is put together is downright amazing. This is pretty close to a masterpiece, I must say. I know that term gets thrown around a lot lately, but I really feel that way. Only 2 cons I had for this movie, and one of them is a very personal thing for me. It's not really a con on the film itself, it's just something I don't like. There is one of the challenges where they make him eat human shit. Now, I read that it was actually like chocolate and raisins and chocolate sauce or something, but it just looked so disgusting to me. And I will say this, I actually was fine with it because I watched it while eating a plate of spaghetti. But still, if you're squeamish about that kind of thing, don't watch it while eating. It's just not my deal. I'm not into that kind of shit. Oh, no pun intended. The CGI effects. Now, there were some parts of this where they used CGI. First, it was a really badass looking effect. And then they used CGI on top of it. I'm going to leave it kind of there and kind of vague. I don't want to give everything away because it's kind of part of my pros as well. And that is the motorcycle kill. And it's I don't want to give away everything that happens in the movie. And there isn't really a lot of kills. This is not really a horror film, if you ask me. It's just people die in it, and they do it in almost horror movie style. It's graphic and violent, but even though I really liked that scene, I didn't like the fact that, how do I say, okay, minor, not really spoiler, not a spoiler. Let's just say that in the motorcycle scene, somebody gets their top of their head removed where their brains are exposed. And you can almost see like the CGI brains and the top of the head like floating over the top of where their head would be. It just looks kind of bad. I didn't really like it. But this was an early 2000s film, so you got to kind of excuse it for that. I love the Crazy King. There is a guy who is absolutely insane. They call him the Madman in the credits. And he is absolutely insane. And he thinks he's a king, and you'll have to watch it to find out more. This movie, as I said, defies classification. Such a unique film. Such a brilliant film. I absolutely love this movie. It really reminded me of Suicide Club. Not the Wild Eye film, but even though that one's brilliant too, and it's also very unique. But Suicide Club, the Japanese film, as far as this, especially with this OMG ending, that's a big pro for me. The ending is huge. There's just this very unexpected twist at the end. And I loved this movie. It was so good. And I think, I don't know, maybe part of my feelings of impending doom right now are even coming from this film. It is a movie that sticks with you. You know, the movie was funny when it needed to be funny. It was intense when it needed to be intense. It was, I don't know if the word is scary, because I never really was scared. But there was, I guess I can understand the horror aspects that people are talking about. There's gore and there's like dead bodies and there's things like that. Guys, this is a movie that must be experienced. I truly hope you check this movie out. It is called 13 Game of Death. It's available on this Dimension Extreme Terror 6-pack, which I think is still available on Hamilton Book. And, you know, also, I'm going to check out the remake. I have a feeling it's probably not as good as this one, but I'm going to check it out anyways. Guys, this is Bronco Juggalo saying, I hope you have a great night. Peace.
Cut off your face. The double word left the best. but you'll get it.